All right. First song I'm going to do for you is called He Don't Love You. He don't love you like I love you. If he did, he wouldn't break your heart. He don't love you now like I love you. He's trying to tear us apart. Fare thee well, I know you're leaving for the new love that you found. Oh, the handsome guy you've been dating, I got a feeling he's gonna let you down.
Welcome to the Duncan Showroom. My name is Bill Levity, and we're here for the 18th edition of Eugene Smith's Trails and Travels. I'm, of course, dressed for National Circus of Fools Day in North America. And as a former jailbird, if you want to get out of jail, you could just try being a decent person. Be nice to your neighbors. What do you think about that, Gene?
You're
kind
looking
of a decent
good there,
guy.
Billy. You're looking really good.
Oh, thank you.
Very festive, if I must say so.
These new reading glasses are really helping. So how you been? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I'm just, well, how shall I put it? Yeah, I'm feeling good.
You did a wonderful show with Diana Braithwaite and Chris Whiteley what day of the week was that?
Last Wednesday.
Last Wednesday.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So Diane had invited you to do that?
Yeah, she has a project that she's doing. I think it has to do with blues artists and things like that people like that across Canada.
Right.
And I think she got a grant for it, so she decided to have me be part of it. So she asked me to come in. It was Wednesday, wasn't it? Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
And came in and we taped 6 tunes, I think it was.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, 6 or 7 songs.
Still available online for you fans out there who haven't seen
Well,
it?
no, it's not. No,
I lie. Sorry. No, she's doing a show.
no, it's not online yet. She's still putting the video together.
Well, if only I'd done my research. And next week we're having a guest, Chris Whiteley, right?
Yes,
Nice.
and maybe Diana will be here too.
As well.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to branch out a bit, maybe have a guest occasionally. We'll have to talk about that, and they can share a story and a song and maybe do some music with Gene.
Yeah.
And also, before we get going, on Sunday you met with Louis Lawless.
Yes, I did. Was it Sunday? I'm getting all the days mixed up.
A day recently, you met with
A day
Louis Lawless.
recently this week, yes.
And what was that about?
It was on Saturday, actually.
Saturday.
Yes. He's doing a documentary on racism across Canada.
Right.
In Canada, so he asked me to share my views on racism in Canada, and so I did.
Interesting. Good. Well, also probably
Yeah.
not available until it's
No,
finished.
no,
Yeah.
he hasn't. No, he's got quite a few more people to interview
Nice.
for his documentary.
Glad we made it to number 18. What are you going to start us off with?
Oh, I try to figure. This is number 18, and what happens is now I think about it. I got a whole week to plan what I'm going to do. It's always the day of.
It's the inspiration of the 11th hour. Yeah.
Yeah, the day of.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll try a tune by Hall and Oates. I think if I can get through this one. Haven't done it in a long time, but here we go. Girl, if we can solve any problem, why'd we lose so many tears? I saw you go away again. Oh, when the leading man appeared. Can't go on a piece of me with you. Every time you go away, will you take a piece of me with you? Go on and go free. Maybe we're too close to see. I can feel your body move. Does that mean that much to me? Can't go on saying the same thing. Don't you know we got everything going on and on and on and on and on and on. Every time you go away, will you take a piece of me with you? Every time you go away, will you take a piece of me with you? Every time you go away, 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 every time you go away.
Oh, wonderful stuff, my friend. Nice.
Thank you.
We even have a couple of secret audience members today. It's no longer audient. We've gone to the plural, but they're in their own
Gone to
bubble.
plural now.
They're in their own bubble. And Gene, I've got a great idea for a road trip after the COVID's done.
Okay.
We
Bill.
gotta get a hold of Daryl Hall and get you on that program, and you go down there, you have a nice meal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
share some songs back and forth. It's a beautiful old house. You'd be perfect for
Yeah,
that.
I've heard about that.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anybody tuning in?
I can't see a darn thing, Gene. I've got googly glasses on, and
A few people tuned in, but no one's piping up yet.
nobody's piping up yet.
Nobody's piping up.
No.
Well, storytelling. I thought I'd turn it around a bit, Billy. Seeing how you look, how you do,
What?
and seeing how you're in theater,
Oh yeah.
and Are you still the president of the?
You haven't told us any of your theater stories. I'm still the president of the Shawnigan Players. That's right.
Yes, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe you might like to tell a story today, just to turn it around. Something interesting story that happened to you in all your theater days on stage.
You devil. Well, nice of you to give me some warning. Yeah, but. Oh my lord. Okay.
I just thought maybe you might have a story there that you might like to share.
I'm sure several hundred stories that I could share if I'd had a chance to think about it. Let's see. Yeah, right off the cuff. Well, we are doing a pantomime this year, which will be unusual in a year of COVID. And we also did Shakespeare this summer with audiences of 50. So we found a way to kind of work with the health authority. We actually dialed up Bonnie Henry's office and found out the regulations for an outdoor concert. We call them plays, actually, not concerts. That's okay.
Plays. They're plays.
They're
Billy.
called plays. And so at Christmas, we're doing an audience of 50 in the Couch and Community Theater, which will be really weird. Can you imagine playing to 50 people in a 700-seat theater?
Oh, it's happened to me a lot, Billy.
Oh, no. Say it isn't so. Those Ricky's gigs?
Yeah.
Anyway, so and of course the nature of pantomime being that you have to whip people up into a frenzy, basically. So I'm just contemplating that. I have to break the stage and grab a hold of these would-be audience members and somehow whip them into a frenzy when they're miles apart.
Yeah.
So-
That'll be interesting.
That's it's not just all about the tight pants and the wig, you know.
But it's at the theater, right?
At the community center, yeah.
At the community center, yeah.
And they've had very little going on. I think they have security at the front door so you can be met, you know, and maybe get tickets. I don't know what you can do there now.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to the library and get books by order, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they meet you at the door. So I'm just stalling for time because I, of course, still haven't come up with a good story. But
Well, that's good. That's good enough.
Yeah, is
It's
that
my
all right?
turn now.
okay, thanks, thanks for the warning there, big fella. You're
Well, I
buying dinner.
just, I'm what?
You're buying dinner after that one. Make me look like a bad storyteller.
No,
I
that
don't
was
care.
good. That's not really a story. That's a plug.
It's yeah. Well, that's all I had. That's all I had.
That's all.
Oh, it's called Snow White,
Snow White. All right.
and
yeah.
you could get tickets. I don't know where. It'll be after Christmas.
I want to ask you something, Billy. This outfit that you're wearing tonight, have you worn this before on stage? You have, haven't you?
Oh, maybe to play folk music, but as an actual theater.
Yeah,
costume?
yeah. Didn't you?
No, I just keep my eye out for these wacky things and collect them.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Kind of like Longevity John.
Well, he collects a lot of things. Yeah, he's got some really cool stuff.
Yeah,
He's not so much into the clothes, are you, John? He's got some good clothes, but he's more into the things,
Well,
silver ducks and such.
silver ducks and stuff,
Yeah,
and light up dinosaurs.
it's worth coming here just for the museum tour.
And yeah, really.
Yeah, for those of you who've never been to the showroom, it's the tour is an event in itself.
So, I guess what I'll talk about tonight is seeing how you mentioned theater. Since I've lived here 21 years in the Valley, I've done 2 plays. One was The Boys Next Door, and the other one was I'm Not Rappaport. And I always remember I'm not. Did I tell you this story already? Maybe I have. I'm not sure. But Greg Perry was. It's a 2-man play.
Very good play.
Yes, and there are other people in it, but it's basically the both of us are on the stage more than anybody else. But I had to. What I found doing the 2 plays was that it was kind of like being on stage, performing in front of an audience. But I didn't have my guitar. I had other props,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I had other props to work with. But one of the things that happened, actually in both plays, but especially in the last one, I'm Not Rappaport, was well, there are 2 things that happened. One was that whenever I wasn't on stage, or I had or during the intermission, I was the only one in the cast in both plays where I'd be backstage outside. Now and I'd be smoking a joint and drinking sherry.
Oh my Lord, that's just
I
sacrilege.
know,
Sacrilege.
I know.
Yeah.
But I was the only one. Nobody else in the cast indulged one little bit, so I was like I was a loner on that one.
Well, there's a good reason for that, Gene.
What's that?
Well, we don't want to dull our senses or, become drunk person performing.
Oh.
I've certainly made that mistake, but I'm not giving you a hard time. You, as I know how to make yourself comfortable without getting wacky. So.
Well, I just prepared myself basically the same way I would do if I'm coming out on stage and playing music. It was different, that's for sure. I had to remember a lot of lines, but then I have to remember a lot of songs to go along with my music, right? So, but some people were telling me at first, because I was really nervous about the whole thing, and so I'd ask people who had been doing plays for a long time, like Greg or other people in the cast, And some people, one person told me, well, to learn his lines, he walked backwards and stuff. He walked backwards to learn his lines. I
Definitely
tried
movement
that.
helps.
I tried that and ended up in traction. But,
Ooh, yeah.
But I was able to learn my lines, and I'm Not Rappaport. The second thing that happened was, I think we put it on it was always on the weekends that we put it on in the theater here. But I never made any mistakes, and I learned my lines so well that even during rehearsals, they would stop, and one of the cast would say, "Stop, just hold it a second," and because we'd be giving our lines in rehearsal, and they would mess up, right? They'd forget where they were, and I'd go, "Your lines, da, 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 da," like, tell them their lines, And finally, one of them stopped the rehearsal one time and pointed and said to the director. Director said, "What's going on?" He said, "I just want to tell you something." He said, "What's that?" He points to me, says, "This guy's good." He says, "Not only does he know his lines, he knows all of our lines," which was true. I learned everybody else's lines too. So, but and so I never made any mistakes that I knew of, well, especially in I'm Not Rappaport. But what happened was, there's a scene in the very last scene. We were doing it on a Sunday afternoon, and the theater was packed. The Mercury Theater, and I'm sitting on the bench in the park, reading a newspaper, and Greg Perry's character comes in. Now he had been beaten up in the park by some thugs, and he put in the hospital. Now he's out of the hospital, so he comes in with his walker, and he's singing something at the Ritz, soon do it at the Ritz, and he's hobbling along. And he comes, and he sits down beside me on the bench, and we start talking. And for some reason or other, he gave me my lines. He says what he has to say, and then I'm supposed to respond. So I'm responding to his question or whatever he asked me, and as I'm responding, I suddenly, from out of nowhere, I had this thought in my head that came from out of nowhere. Oh, this is the last scene of the play. And I don't know why I thought that, but I did. And soon as I thought that, but I was talking at the same time, right? and all of a sudden, I lost it, and I didn't know where I was because of that thinking. This is the last thought of the last scene of the play. So I just started making stuff up, like I'm just fumbling along looking for the lines, but I couldn't find them. And Greg, because he had been in so many plays before, and he picked up on that I was totally lost, and so it was something to do with Willie. I was supposed to say something. Where is Willie? I was supposed to say, and then, well, I know where he is, and blah blah blah. And so Greg leans over, and very, very nicely just says, "Well, you're probably wondering where Willie is right now." And I went, "Yeah, that's right. Where is Willie? I know Willie's around. I knew it was him that And then I finished it off. But it was so weird to be talking, saying your lines, acting out your lines, and doing your part, and then that thought came into my mind, and it just destroyed me, just totally destroyed me. So that's my story on my theater.
That's so true. Yeah, you can't really let yourself go in and out like you can now on stage, can you?
No. What do you mean, when I'm playing guitar and stuff like that?
Yeah, you go into the zone, and then at the end of the song, you can come out and banter and do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a...
Well, the thing about playing music all these years is, like, sometimes if I have a cold, I've got a cough or something, I know how to incorporate the cough into the song so it sounds like part of the tune.
Right.
Well, it is part of the tune, but there was one time years ago when I was playing in Toronto, and I was really, really sick, and I was coughing like crazy, and I'm trying to sing at the same time, and finally I just stopped in the middle of the song and said, I'm sorry, folks, but I just can't continue on. This is ridiculous. And I just got up and left and went home.
Oh,
Yeah.
it just wasn't right.
No, I
Yeah.
couldn't. I just couldn't fake it. I couldn't get in. I couldn't make it part of the song anymore. I mean, Georgia, Georgia. Like I'm, singing like that. And so I just had to go home and doctor myself up.
Nice.
That's happened to you, hasn't it, Billy?
Oh, I never bail out in a show, never.
No. I mean, where you.
What was the question, sir?
Nah, never mind. You're buying dinner.
Go ahead. I don't think so. So it's interesting that your skill with words as a songwriter and learning other songs transferred so well to learning dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you
Like at first, I was really nervous about it, and then once I got a handle on it, it just was really easy for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been asked to do another play since, although I haven't gone out to try out for any. Oh, there's one time I think you almost talked me into going out and trying out for the part of the policeman in Tony Randall and what are the
Oh, that would have been Greg again. 12 Angry Men.
No, not
No?
12 Angry Men.
Was it-
Tony Randall and Jack Klugman, the Odd Couple, yeah.
Did we?
And the police officer, the plump police officer that was part of that show.
We never did The Odd Couple, but somebody did.
Yeah,
Did,
somebody did.
CMS do it, maybe?
Yeah, and somebody said maybe I should try out for that part, but I didn't.
A
I
close call.
It was a close call, yeah. I
Right.
know.
Well, that's good that you had the story about kind of falling out of the zone and Greg being there. That's certainly one thing we learn is that you stay aware of that and watch the other actors. So if you can help, you jump in.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To keep
Well,
it going.
if somebody breaks a string on, on the guitar player or something in a band, or breaks a string or whatever, somebody else just takes over,
You
real-
become the string.
Mhm.
Grasshopper.
You-
Never mind.
You become the string.
You become
grasshopper.
the string. So thank you for the theater ramble. We just want to pass on to the community of the interweb for those who are interested in theater that we're by no means, endorsing the use of alcohol or marijuana pre-show. That's just Gene. He's special.
Not
You
unless
want-
I'm in the play.
You want your instrument clean. You want to be sharp, and other than that, you can do whatever the heck you want when you're done. But you were very good on stage. You had a good presence. I saw both of those plays and enjoyed
I
them.
think Peter Russell, when he was working for the News Leader, gave us 11 out of 10.
Oh, don't get too cocky now.
No, I didn't say it. It was just
He
there.
gives everybody he loves 11 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A little famous story about your lovely roommate. Hopefully he's not watching, but he was almost executed once for waving at somebody in the audience, and this is a sin.
On
You
stage?
Yeah, he was playing a bit part, and waved at someone in the audience. So yeah, he's lucky he lived through that one, right? Love you, Pete.
Oh, I just a little side note here. Just before I came down to the showroom, I was watching a documentary on George Foreman.
Oh yes.
And George Foreman, at the age of 45, became heavyweight champion again for the second time in his life. And he, in the history of boxing, he is the oldest boxer to become champion again, or at the age of 45, to actually come back and make a comeback like that. And his George Foreman grills, the grill,
Yeah.
sold over 100 million George Foreman grills.
Whoa.
Can you believe that?
Well, that's who we should have on the show.
George
Foreman.
I couldn't
I
believe
love that
it.
guy.
I
Yeah.
said, 100 million,
That's amazing, eh?
Amazing, just
Yeah.
amazing.
No, people may not know that you're a sports enthusiast and were at one time a pretty darn good squash player, and that also you were boxing. I think you may have covered that early on. Did you,
I
when
boxed.
you first
Well,
met
I
Ronnie?
didn't. I wasn't in the ring for real. I just would go in upstairs at Ronnie's gym. He had a gym above the Hawk's Nest on Yonge Street, and I would go up there just to keep in shape, just for training. I was just,
Mm-hmm.
just exercise,
Yeah.
And until they wanted me to actually do it for real, and I backed out.
Oh, you
But-
wouldn't want to scar that pretty face.
No, I know.
No.
I know.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I did a bit of boxing, like just sparring with different boxers. And then squash, I got to have a few lessons with Sharif Khan.
Right. When he was champion.
When he was champion for 12 years in a row,
Yeah,
actually.
very amazing.
And then after, when he retired, his brother Hassis took over and became champion.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time at the squash court, I asked Mr. Khan. I asked him. I said, "Who gives you the most problems when you're playing squash? Like other opponents?" And he says, "My dad." And his
Right.
dad at that time was 70 years old.
Who was former champion
Who
himself.
had been former champion with English courts and American courts. And when they came over, he had to learn how to play American courts, and he became champion even in American courts. But he said, "Yeah, my dad, at 70 years old, is still teaching me things."
Huh, that's amazing.
And and his dad, at 70 years old, joined the elderly squash players and became champion there. But at 70 years old, he said, "My dad still gives me problems in the court." Amazing, eh?
Yeah. Well, you got another song for us there, young feller?
I thought maybe you'd like to come out here and sing along with me, Billy. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're just really beating me up today, aren't you?
Well, if I'm paying for dinner. I'd like to thank all you folks for coming out tonight, and then 2 participants here, hanging in the showroom. Did you pay the cover charge?
Did you pay the cover? I think we thought he was a nice guy all along, but we see now that he's secretly cruel. There you go.
Oh, see the sun in the morning, peeking over the hill. Well, I bet you're sure it always has, and it always will. Well, that's how I feel about someone, and somebody feels about me. Oh, we're sure we love each other. Oh, that's the way it will always be. Whoa, whoa, now be. Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny. Well, we'll travel along, singing a song, side by side. Well, we don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow. Well, we'll travel the road, sharing the load, side by side. Well, through all kinds of weather. Oh, what if the sky should fall? Well, as long as we're together, well, it really doesn't matter at all. No, going out of quarrels and parting, we'll be the same as we started. Well, we'll travel along, singing a song, side by side. Well, through all kinds of weather, oh, what if the sky should fall? Well, as long as we're together, well, it really doesn't matter. I say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all, no. When we've all had our quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started. Well, we'll travel along, singing a song, side by side. Well, we'll travel along, singing a song, side by side. Well, we'll travel along, singing a song. Well, I said side, oh, come on, side, side by side. Well, we're traveling traveling side by side. All right. All right, come on, side by side.
Whoa, alrighty
Whoa.
then. Nice. Nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Gene, for issue number 18. I can see now that with that massage treatment and the full moon, it really brought out the little devil in you. So we'll be back to normal next week with Chris Whiteley and Eugene, Diana Braithwaite. I'm losing my marbles.
Marbles.
Marbles. Thanks so much to Longevity John and Dr. Ted and our audience members.
And all the people that tuned in.
And all the people that tuned in.
Thank you very much.
We will see you next week.
Same
Yes.
time, same station.
Take care now.
Bye now. Break your heart. He don't love you now like I love you. He's trying to tear us apart. He uses all the great quotation. He says all the things I wish I could say. Well, he's had so many. I'll rehearse, girl. To him, it's just another game. Wait, I want to tell you now. And when the final act is over, and you're left standing all alone, when he takes his bows, makes his exit, oh yeah, I'll be there to take you home. Because I say now, he don't love you like I loves you. If he did, he wouldn't break your heart. He don't love you like I love you. He's trying to tear us apart. He don't love you, and he never will, like I love you. Ooh, no, 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 no. He don't love you like I do. No, he don't.